Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. I'm here to work on my signatures. This journal is what I am working on over on TikTok. So I'm doing some prep work here, and I thought I would turn on the camera and just film a video. This is going to be me warming up for the journal that I'm going to work on here on YouTube. So like I mentioned before, it's going to be in the same theme, but a different style. So what I'm doing, sorry about that. What I'm doing is using lots of textiles, and so all the signatures are prepped. I'm going to have 4 signatures, and I'm going to have fabrics. I wanted the fabrics to really inspire the, I guess, the mood and the feel of the journal, which is going to be very luxurious and kind of nuanced. And you let me know what you think of the fabrics, because there's lots of shades of blushes and grays, and that's the kind of feel I want for these journals. So I started tearing the strips for the fabric already, and I'm going to try something different with the fabrics. I'm not going to be making ruffles. I am just going to be sewing strips along the edges here and letting them drip off the page in different lengths. And I have some in the beginning parts of the journal, but most of the fabric strips, and there's one right here, most of the fabric strips are going to be concentrated in the last signature, because I want it to kind of just progress to all the dripping of the fabric. And the idea is that, of course, it's for embellishing also, but I'm going to leave parts hanging off, so whoever gets the journal can either take a piece off and use it in their collaging or their journaling, or I'm going to sew and embellish the ends just to give it more of that luxurious feel. This is something new I'm trying, and I'm having a lot of fun just thinking of different ways of being creative in my journals. So as you can see, lots of fabrics here. I have just cut the different lengths and put them on the pages I want them to be sewn onto, but I have not measured and trimmed them down. So that's what we're going to do in this journal. In this video. So I'm thinking that the end parts are going to have to be more like longer, because I want it to progress to more and more fabric dripping down. So this is going to be, and the challenge was also to make sure that the colors matched, because there are lots of different colors in here. They're not necessarily bright colors for me, but I think in general they are bright for this kind of more vintage feel. All right, so I am going to, and I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to decide if I want it to hang off of this side. I know I want it to hang off of the bottom, but I'm trying to decide if I want it to hang off of the side of the journal. But I don't think that's the decision I necessarily need to make right now. So I am just going to start trimming. And fabric usually only tears in one direction, or that's what I'm coming across. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem to be tearing in this direction. So I am going to be making it like look more frayed. And I may add to the length of this with either trims or like more of a length of fabric. And we're just gonna experiment here. Yeah, this one's hard to tear. Let me just I want these to look tattered and imperfect. Wow. That was a workout. That was like an arm workout. Okay. These fibers stick to everything. All right, let's straighten this out and see how it looks. So my plan is to kind of build up this journal to the point of just embellishing. And then after that, I'm gonna get going on the journal I'm gonna make on this channel on YouTube. All right. So I think I'm just gonna prep it to the best of my ability. And then when I go to sew it, which I will not be able to show that on camera because it's just too hard to get my sewing machine within view, that's when I'm gonna kind of decide more how and where I want these to go, like in terms of placement and everything. So there we have that. Then let's work on this one. So this is a thicker fabric, so I think I do want this one to be longer or just as long as this piece has gone. And I really hope this will tear like this, because that would be nice to perfect. All right. Let's see how much I can fray this up. I think I'm gonna cut this in half and see what happens. See how this is gonna tear, because I want it kind of like a boho dress that's just has different lengths hanging from it. Or like a skirt or something, where it's just kind of random drapes and drips of fabric. I usually have a lint roller here when I'm doing fibers so I can just have all this stick to it, but I do not know where my lint roller went. It's probably behind my desk somewhere. All right. I have a lot of lint rollers because one year, I think it was like 2021 or maybe even 2020, I came across a clearance sale at Rite Aid, and they had lint rollers for 25 cents each. So I kind of stocked up. All right, let's see. In this journal that I'm working on, I tend to work, or when I first started making junk journals, I feel like I made bigger journals. So when I was cutting these fabric strips, I was kind of in that mode because now I'm seeing that they're a little bit thicker than I would like. Let's see how this is going to tear. These fibers are just flying and sticking. All right. Let's see if I fold this in half. Or do I want the back piece? Actually, I don't want the back piece a little longer because I don't really like the finish of the underside. So we are going to make this even. And I think I'm going to end up putting lots of embellishments onto the pieces that are hanging off. Now that I'm working on it, I think that's going to be really cool. So buttons, beads, especially because the parts hanging off down here, they're not going to bulk up the pages. All right. So this will go right here. Actually, I want this facing up. I love the color and the finish that's on this fabric. The like how shiny it is. It feels very luxurious. All right, I'm kind of liking that already. All right, let's continue on. And this is gonna go here. I love the sheen on this one as well. And this one I might do like a little belly band because I want it to fall in more, to like let that kind of cascade out. So I think this is going to end up being a belly band, and I might even just leave a little tab up here. I think that looks pretty. But we're going to tear this right here. I love that it just tore so easily. So this is gonna have like a boho luxurious feel. That's kind of the idea that I had going into this, but as I work with these fabrics more, it's kind of like becoming more and more apparent that that's definitely how this is going to end up feeling. All right, let's turn the page. And I'm really just kind of figuring things out as I go along here because I've never done anything like this before. I think I like this side more. There. Okay. Now this, I love this fabric right here. You guys, I tore up so many dresses. People like who don't do junk journals would be mortified. I was just ripping into dresses and shirts and all that. Okay. I don't mind that little the hem right here. So I'm not going to tear that. And I really like this fabric, so I think I want it to peek out a little bit more. But I am going to cut it. Let's see if this one tears. No, does not tear. So let's just kind of move along like this and fray it and tatter it. So the journal that I'm going to make on this channel for YouTube, that one's going to be a little bit more luxurious, I guess you could say, than this one that I'm working on for TikTok, because it's going to be one of those texture journals. This one's going to include more interactive elements, this one. But the one for YouTube is going to be more of the texture type of journal. So it's a little more abstract. So I think I want to make that one more, I love the fraying going on here. I'm going to make that one more, have more feeling, I guess you could say. And this is going to come off the edge. Like that. Now let's continue on. This is a big piece right here, and I do not want it to cover up too much of what's going on before it. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do about that. I like how that looks. But I think I want it thinner, and I think I just want one side. Yeah, I just want it on one side. So I'm gonna cut it right here and shorten it. I like the way that this is fraying. even though it's kind of tedious doing this. It almost looks like feathers. Every few months I start thinking about the dream box. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The craft storage dream box that is like costs as much as a mortgage payment or two. I just keep thinking about it. Do any of you guys have it? I can't remember. It's called like the Dream Box. And they have ads all the time. But it is, you can customize it, and you can customize it and build it the way, design it for your needs. Okay, I think I might just cut this all the way up. Let me know if any of you guys have that, or if you're thinking about getting one. All right, let me see if this is gonna fray nicely. Okay, I'm just gonna have to use some of my double-sided tape to manage this here. If I can undo it. Actually, let's just cut off a piece. And I'm just going to stick it down here so that I don't go crazy with all this on my hands. All right. I was watching a video of someone who has that, and they were like redoing their craft area, and she got rid of 7 pieces of furniture because everything that was in those 7 pieces of furniture fit into the dream box. That's like the main reason I am thinking about it, because it is a big piece, but it's very compact when you consider how much it actually fits. And it can look very neat because it closes up into a little box shape. And I find, let me know if this happens to you guys. I mean, I know on Facebook in Junk Journal Junkies or the chat group, lots of people always post pictures of what a mess their craft area is, but it really stops me from being productive because it's just so cluttery in my mind when my space is out of control. And I work from a very small space, so. All right, I think I'm gonna have that hang there, and I don't mind that it kind of looks like a little banner here. I don't want it to be too like on purpose like that, but I kind of like how that looks. So let's go on to the next page. Let me see where I'm at. I don't want to do too long of a video because it takes forever to upload. All right, so And after I do this, I'm gonna have to take a picture of how this looks because the draping is really important. Now this piece is not too impressive. This fabric here. So I don't want it to hang off the page. Maybe just a tiny bit. So I am going to make this a shorter piece. Wow. Gonna take a sip of water really quick. I hope you guys are crafting along with me. If you are, let me know what you're working on. I really am interested in what everyone's projects are. Like, what kind of themes do you guys usually work in? Do you always have a journal project going, or do you take long breaks, or are you quick with making your journals? Let me know. All right. Or do you guys not make journals and do some other kind of craft? Okay, so we're gonna actually, I should have thought about this before. I want this strip to be thinner. I'm liking that so far. I want it to show the different shades of blushes and all of that. I hope that when I go to sew it, it's gonna come off this way, because I'm really liking this. I wasn't sure how it would end up looking. I think this one, I'm just gonna end up doing that. So let me go ahead and cut this. Okay, this one tears very easily, so we can mess with the bottom. Let's just try to make it a little slanted. Okay, that didn't slant it too much, but it looks less finished, so I like that. I've been doing lots of collaging. I think you guys may have noticed that, and it's actually, I think, making me be less scared of being creative. Because okay, I think this is just gonna go behind there, because I'm not like this, for example. I usually like to stick with what I'm comfortable with, what I know is going to look good or turn out nice. So this normally would be a little bit harrowing for me, but I'm actually enjoying the process. All right, let's see. I think I want this just nice and simple. Okay, maybe this can be a little bit longer. Okay, this one's not too impressive. I'm just gonna leave that. This is long. This can be a tiny bit longer. And this can be kind of long. How's that for being descriptive? Okay, but I think you guys can see what I'm saying. If you could see the bottom, let me move this up a little. So I'm just kind of having it be as random as possible. Okay, I think once I finish doing this part, I'm going to start clipping them. I think Diane H does that. She clips it so that when it comes time to sew, it's going to be where it should be. Of course, I'm going to have to fix my signatures as well. All right, this I'm just going to do later. So let me fix my signatures. Make sure they're all evenly placed. Okay. I love how the stars go with this this color scheme right here. All right. Let me grab some paper clips. Oops, that's a staple. Okay, that should be enough. And this is going to be the important part. All right. I'm gonna have to move it a little bit this way because I think I want to clip the top. I hope I don't, I think I'm just going to try to use tan thread because I do not want to be changing threads a whole bunch of times. Okay. You know what might be easier? If I use these clips. I think these are for quilting. And They are expensive. I looked for a bag at Hobby Lobby, and I think I checked at Joann's too. They're really expensive, but somehow I found them at the dollar store. Now, it was a smaller bag, but it was $1 something. So that was really nice. Okay, so I am not a fan of how the underside of this looks, so I'm really going to have to be careful with the way I sew this so that it covers it, like both of the layers match up. I think. Okay, I hope I'm not moving the signatures too much. I think I wanted this one in a little bit. Because I do want this little tail to show that's behind here. So let's clip this in. This feels very precarious. And I feel like it's not going to turn out the way it's laying out here, which gives me a little bit of anxiety. Because it's not going to turn out how I'm envisioning. All right, this one. I forget, was I gonna fold this over? Or was I gonna, oh, I think I was gonna do this. I can't quite remember, so I am just gonna do this. All right, now this one. Oh, wait. I think this was gonna go behind it. This goes right here. And this is the one that just has one. I do want I want this one to be longer, which is going to make it hard to clip in. I want this to hang down more. Like that, I think. And then for this one to be a little bit shorter, like that. We're heading to the home stretch. Something's stuck here. All right, now this is just going to be just a plain Jane one. And then this one, I think, was going to go a little bit below. Like that, I believe. Oftentimes, the way I plan it, it ends up being worse when it comes to sewing things for me. It's just hard for me to translate it from the original thought or idea, because then it moves around, and so that's gonna go like that, I think. See, like, do you guys think it looks worse now? It looks worse than my original setup. But you know, I'm not the type to just kind of keep trying to make it too perfect, because it will drive me crazy. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna decide about this later. I'm thinking I might want to do a little ruffle. Maybe like a little ruffle over it, or like a ombre ruffle. So we're gonna leave this out for now. And let me just take the cover and see how this looks. This is the cover for it. So some of it does hang over the edge, and the bottom drips down. So I'm just gonna have to go for it. But thank you so much for joining me today and kind of hearing me talk this out. It actually really helped me. And usually when I'm doing something like this or being creative, filming it makes it harder. But today I think it made it easier. And I think it's because I've been collaging on while I'm filming, I think. But regardless, thank you for being here today. If you want to check out how this progresses, check out my TikTok, Enchanted Paper Cottage, over there. I might come back on here to work on some more things, but that's where this journal is gonna be documented, over on TikTok. And like I said before, a following journal in this theme but a different style will be what I'm going to document here on YouTube. But thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.